What is going on, guys? It's your boy Redskins coming back with a new video. Today we'll be doing week 3 of our playoff or our NFL 2021 season prediction video. Last week was a little hectic around the league. Not gonna lie, a lot of close games, a lot of wacky things happening, a lot of upsets, a lot of injuries. We'll all be discussing that towards the end of this video, discussing all 32 team injuries, how that's going to impact them. So anyway, let's get into it. The first game, we got the Chargers and the Chiefs. Now, the Chargers, I wouldn't say they had a lot of injuries. They just had a lot of penalty mistakes. They had mistakes being flagged for a lot of stuff, which it was ridiculous playing the Cowboys when they were just getting holding flags, pass interference. And they're playing the Chiefs this Sunday. So before going into this game, they need to clean all that up. Because if they want to have any chance of beating Kansas City, they cannot have continuous mistakes with penalties. That can kill a team playing Kansas City. Now, the Chargers, I don't know if they have injuries. Because like I said, I didn't watch very much of that Cowboy-Chargers game. But I don't know. The Chiefs, on the other hand, they're coming out of a really heartbreaking loss to the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, where they were trying to drive down the field and the ball got punched out of the running back's hands, and the Ravens won. Okay. So, the only question is, can the Chiefs bounce back from that? Because that night was a little bad for Mahomes. Not only did he throw his first ever interception in September, but he lost his first ever September game. All that happened in a span of one night. So, if I had to say a team, will the Chiefs bounce back? Probably. Will the Chargers clean up their penalties? 50-50. So, I will have to say the Chargers win this game. Because Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, that whole defense will be looking to get after KC. Are going into our next game, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Now, Cincinnati lost to Chicago, in a really bad way. They were 2017 the final? I don't remember. But Cincinnati will be looking to bounce back as they face the Steelers, who are also probably looking to bounce back after my team, the Raiders, beat the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, he's dealing with he was getting beat up all day on Sunday. Let's see here, what else? Oh, speaking of which, Steelers have a lot of injuries. Only question is, how is Ben Roethlisberger going into the Sunday's game? Because now he's dealing with a pec injury, which could keep him sidelined. So, I think Cincinnati wins this game. So, now our next game, Indianapolis versus Tennessee. Now, Indianapolis is struggling right now to do anything there. Now, they've lost their quarterback for a little while. Indianapolis is struggling right now because players are not playing right. Carson Wentz, everybody thought, Carson Wentz is going to be reunited with Frank Wright. Oh, look, they're going to do it. They're going to go to the playoffs. Indianapolis is not looking very good. Meanwhile, Tennessee had a very, very good bounce back game in Seattle in overtime. Game winner kick. Sorry, guys, we had a little cut out there. But as I was saying, Randy Bullock, delivered the game-winning kick against Seattle to put Tennessee at 1-1. Derrick Henry completely destroyed the Seattle defensive line. So in this case, I think Tennessee wins this game. Derrick Henry might have a field day against Indianapolis defense. Hopping into our next game, we got the Jets versus the Broncos. Okay, where do I start with New York? Jets fans, sorry to say this, but I do believe it's going to be a little while before you guys are good again. You guys throw a rookie quarterback out there with no experience in the NFL. You put him up against Denver with that pass rush. Oh man. Okay, so Jets are going to they've suffered some bad losses through Carolina and the Patriots. Zach Wilson's, I think he's coming off a 3 or 4 interception game against New England last Sunday. So, we'll see how that goes. But Denver, on the other hand, Teddy Bridgewater is actually looking pretty good. Mind you, they're playing easy teams right now, so I won't say anything until later in the season. But Denver, I think you find a quarterback. Who knows? Just gotta keep the momentum up. But I mean, they're playing the Jets, so not really much to be accomplished there if Teddy Bridgewater does go off against that bad defense. So unfortunately, I have to take the Broncos there. Unfortunately. Now, hopping into our next game, we got the Miami Dolphins traveling to Las Vegas, Nevada to take on your Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Miami, if you didn't see the news that just popped up, Tua is going to be out this Sunday with fractured ribs after the hit he took against Buffalo. And also in that game, Miami did get shut out 35-0 to the Bills. So now Jacoby Brissett starting for the Miami Dolphins. Now, okay, as I was saying, now since Jacoby Brissett's starting for the Dolphins, I'm curious to see how he's going to play against this Raiders pass rush, who is now the ranked 10 defense in the league right now. His wide receivers, I don't think they've had any experience with Brissett. So, meanwhile, with the Raiders, you know, we've been looking pretty good. We beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football. We beat the Steelers on Sunday. Now we're staying home to Vegas to play the Dolphins. So, the only question is, will Jacobs be able to play in this game? Because they're just saying that Jacobs should be able to play Sunday. But I don't know. Meanwhile, our defense, on the other hand, is looking really good. Let's see here. Pass rush was really good for the Raiders. We've sacked quarterbacks. We've gotten turnovers through the first 2 weeks. We've done everything we could have asked for. Derek Carr is putting on a show, throwing a deep ball, you know, getting the ball out of his hands. Now, Derek Carr did get hurt in last Sunday's game against the Steelers, but he played through it. So, the only question is, how did the Dolphins defense respond to this Raiders offense? Especially with that Dolphins defense right now against the run game, we don't know how that's going to work. So, I think the Raiders win that game. Now, hopping to tomorrow night's matchup, Thursday Night Football, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Houston Texans. Now, Carolina, 2-0, very surprising with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's actually looking pretty good with Carolina. He's a lot better than he did with New York, actually. Don't take it wrong, Jets fans. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I think you guys would have been good, but I think you guys made a mistake by hiring Adam Gase. So, anyways, let's get back to this one. Now, Carolina, Sam Darnold, you know, all these weapons he had from New York and everything else, they're playing well. The defense is playing well. The offense is, you know, working together so the defense. So, now, Houston, your issue is, now with Tyrod Taylor out for who knows how long with something wrong with his knee or leg or something. Who's going to be your quarterback? Because now with Tyrod Taylor out, who is going to be your quarterback? So I have to say Carolina gets this one. Now, hopping into our next game, we got the Washington Redskins versus the Buffalo Bills. Washington, who survived against the Giants last Thursday night, will be heading to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. See here, Washington probably won't have. I mean, their defense, so their D line probably will get after Josh Allen, but their cornerbacks and everything will have no answer for this Bills offense, because with the way this Bill offense runs, they run the deep ball, they run the pass, they shoot the play action pass, the shotgun, the deep. No, I was saying, Buffalo's offense is more around the run game, the passing attack, the quarterback scramble. Washington is not built for that. So I think Buffalo has more chance of winning this game than Washington does. So Buffalo wins. Now we're hopping on our next game. We got the Chicago Bears versus the Cleveland Browns. Now Chicago, something just proves that Justin Fields will be your starter. With the way he came into that huddle and led that team to a victory with Andy Dalton going down, that just says that Justin Fields is built to be a starter for football for the Chicago Bears. With the way you guys came in, with the way he came in and helped you guys to win, but now you're facing a good defense in the Cleveland Browns with Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and all of these guys. And yes, I know Bears fans are gonna be like, "Oh well, Justin Fields has the ability to scramble." I know he has the ability to scramble. It's just how well is he gonna do against this good defense of the Browns? Because this Browns defense is built to stop the run and stop the pass. I mean, yes, they didn't show it against KC, but they showed it against Houston, and the Texans lost their quarterback. So how is this going to happen in Chicago? So, if anything, I'll say Cleveland wins this game. Now, hopping in our next game, we got the 2-0 Cardinals versus the 0-2 Jaguars. The Cardinals survived the Vikings, with the Vikings missing what potentially should have been a game-winning field goal. Arizona, you're looking pretty good right now. Tennessee, you guys clobbered Tennessee. You guys got out of this, escaped the win against the Vikings this close. Kyler Murray is showing up a lot. He's looking MVP form. So is Derek Carr and Tom Brady. Unfortunately, Tom Brady. But no. Now, the Cardinals, they have a lot of potential this year. With the additions of J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, and a lot of other guys, they have potential this year. Now, meanwhile, for the Jaguars, I mean, how do I say this? Trevor Lawrence is, yes, I know Trevor Lawrence is coming out of college where he played for a good team who beat up all the other teams in that conference. But now you're going in the NFL with defenses that are built to beat and pick the ball. So, he is 0-2 as a starter right now, Trevor Lawrence. But, Jacksonville, the only question is, how are you going to beat Arizona? How are you going to beat a team like Cardinals who has the ability to throw the ball, run the ball, and block well? So, with all that being said, Arizona does win this game. Now, hopping in our next game, we got the 1-1 Ravens versus the 0-2 Lions. Now, the Ravens, my bad. The Ravens came off a game where they punched the ball out of Clyde Edwards-Helaire's hands from the Chiefs to get the victory over Kansas City. Lamar, he threw 2 picks. One to start the game for a pick 6 and another one to Tyrann Mathieu again. So now the question is, will the Ravens blow out the Lions? Because the Lions, you're not looking promising right now. Nuh-uh. So I'm going to have to say Baltimore takes this win. Now hopping in our next game, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots. Now the New Orleans Saints, Jameis Winston, who threw a whopping 5 touchdowns in that opener of the Green Bay, who beat the brakes off the Green Bay Packers, and then struggled to get any momentum against the Carolina Panthers. New Orleans looking pretty good right now with Jameis Winston. But how are we going to carry that over to Boston when you're playing the New England Patriots, who have a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones and all these good, talented players around Mac Jones? How's the defense going to work? So, with all that being said, I'm going to have to say New Orleans wins this game. Because they're... Okay. Because New Orleans is just better than New England right now. Sorry. Now, I'll be our next game, guy. Ew. Okay. Anyways. Hopping into this next game, we got the 0-2 Atlanta Falcons versus the 0-2 New York Giants. Oh, dear. Well, nobody's probably going to be watching this game, so, Atlanta struggling, New York struggling. What else to put around it? So, I said the Giants, because one of these teams has to win, unless they go in a tie, which I highly unlikely see that happening, because one of these two teams have to win the game. Now, hopping into our next game, we got the 2-0 Buccaneers versus the 2-0 Rams. Oh, man. Alright. Where do we start first? Tom Brady in the offense, picking up where they left off last year with the Super Bowl victory. And then, of course, like usual, defense, playing the defensive ways for Bucks. While you got Matthew Stafford over here lighting up the scoreboard of the Rams with all these good receivers, everything. The defense for the Rams is playing good. So, the only question is, can the defense for Rams and the offense for Rams shut down the Buccaneers? That would be a good question. I say the Rams win that game. Now, hopping into the next game, we got the 1-1 Seahawks versus the, 0-2 Vikings. Now, the Seahawks, they blew I think it was a 14-point lead to Titans, which settled for overtime, and then they lost in overtime to Titans due to a game-winning field goal from Bullock. So, the Seahawks defense got destroyed by Derrick Henry in that second half. I think he ran for a whopping 179 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think. But meanwhile, for Minnesota, you guys are coming off one of the most heartbreaking losses ever, where your kicker missed the chance to send you guys to your first win of the year over the Cardinals. Your kicker, completely missed the game winner. So, I think Seattle wins this game because, Minnesota, they're not looking very good. Anyways, now we got the 1-1 Packers versus the 2-0 Niners. Whoever would have thought that this game would probably decide who would go to the Super Bowl. This is probably an NFC Championship preview. Green Bay, who beat the brakes off the Lions on Monday Night Football in the second half. I think it was something nothing run. Well, you got the Niners over here who were back themselves since that Super Bowl run in 2019, lost to the Chiefs. Now they're looking back to make it a run. The Green Bay Packers, they're playing okay. While you got the Niners over here beating the brakes off teams. Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, that combination, running the ball, passing the ball. So, Niners win this game. Next game, you got them. The 1-1 Eagles versus the 1-1 Cowboys. Okay. Now, the Eagles, who absolutely owned Atlanta in that first game. Jalen Hurts, he threw for a whopping 3 touchdown passes. That offense was in control. And week 2, the Niners, they just shut down. So, meanwhile, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott played pretty good in our opener against Tampa. They played decent to the Chargers. But I will have to say the Eagles win this game. So, now, with all that being said, here comes the injury report. So I'll see you guys in the next video, but make sure to watch the injury report video.